How many of y'all struggle? I mean, struggle as a Christian. How many of y'all have a hard time being a Christian? In other words, how many of you actually suck as a Christian? I know you don't. You may not even like that terminology, that word. But let's just be honest. Let's be clear. You, as a Christian, probably more than likely suck. You suck. Anyone ever told you that? And when they tell you that, you fight back, you push back. Who you saying suck? Who your mama sucks, right? Listen, let me just, in case you don't know, you suck as a Christian. This whole ministry deal that we're doing here on this channel, maybe it's not you, maybe it's not for you. This is for Christians who suck at being Christians. Now, you may not think you do. And probably the reason why you don't think that you suck as a Christian is because you do suck as a Christian. Christianity is for people who suck at life, who aren't good at doing life, who make mistakes, who mess up, not those who suck at it, who make mistakes, who mess up, but those who know it. Yeah, see, there are some people who don't know it. There are some people who know it and act as though they don't know it. There are some people who know they suck, and the truth be told, they don't want any, they will do any and everything to cover up the fact that they suck. Some of you all suck so bad you suck at sucking. You are just horrible Christian. I've got a message for you, and I'm going to use Grady to tell you.
You see, because you're not going to like anything I say.
Well, that's okay. Just tell me.
Well, first of all, I mean, Fred, you're rotten. Fred, I mean, just deep down, low down, rotten to the core. Now, Fred, take it from a friend who knows.
Listen, Grady said it right. You're rotten. And you probably don't know it. You probably think, you know what, I'm better off than I used to be. I'm not as bad as I used to be. And you know what? There's probably some truth there. There's probably some truth to the statement when you say that I'm much better than I used to be. But you struggle. Can I tell you something? I am convinced. I'm convinced, ladies, you'll like this, fellas, you won't. But I'm convinced there'll probably be more. I'm convinced there'll be more women in heaven than men. There's probably going to be more women in heaven than men. You know why? Here's why I say so. Because it's hard for men to come to grips with the reality of their fallenness, the reality of how off they are. I mean, think about it. The reason why men die early, yeah, it's not because women nag them to death. They probably do, but that's not the reason why. The reason why is because men don't want to go to the hospital. If the doctor tells them something wrong, they don't want to hear that. Nope, that something's wrong with the doctor. They'll say they'll get a second opinion and won't go because they know the next doctor is a quack too. Women don't have a problem with going to the hospital. As a matter of fact, a lot of women are more hypochondriac than men. There are a lot of women who at the first inkling of something sick, some sort of sickness, if their head hurts, time to go to the hospital. But the men, nope. They can have 140-degree temperature, blood oozing out of their eyes, and they say, I'm just going to rest, take some time off. But men, it's harder for a man to submit. And we're going to look at the scriptures. I want to pull this out, but you ever notice what did Paul say? Paul talks about a couple people. Paul talks about, I want men, and he used the term andra, and I know that he wants women to do so, but why would he use the term, I want males? Let's go to this text. This is in 1 Timothy, and I want to pull this text up. I did a video on Patreon, and it got me thinking about this even more so, but I want to pull this up because they don't just use words just, kind of just because. So Paul says, therefore, I want men. This kind of, I thought about this for a second. Now, he does want women to lift holy hands in every place. But the word that's used here is the word andros. That's males. This is specifically to the men. Not that he doesn't want women to lift holy hands. Women might have it easier to lift holy hands. It's easier to find a woman in this position than it is a man in this position. The only way that you tend to find a man in this position is at the end of a gun. A cop says, hold your hands up, right? You've been arrested or something's coming at you. Hold on, right? But for a woman, it seems to be, go to church. You will find in many churches when hands are uplifted, I can promise you that the majority of those hands are going to be women. It's a hard thing for a man to, yeah, Lord, yell. even knowing he's God, recognize it's still hard. Yeah, I'm too tough for that. Yeah, I'm too macho for that. Paul says, therefore, I want males in every place, lifting up holy hands without wrath and dissension. Why? That might be an issue. The people that have the hardest time submitting to God and coming clean with their weaknesses are two people. Two people, and they both act the same. Men and women who want to be men. You know, the kind of Jezebel type woman, the woman that wants to lead. Men and the woman who wants to be a man. I'm telling you what I know, and someone is going to, listen, you want to talk about deliverance, someone is going to be delivered today. Someone is going to get this in them, and they're going to recognize. Now, that doesn't mean that women don't suck either, but men, we have a hard time recognizing how much we suck. Now, there are women also, because let's just be honest, women like to be prideful too. Again, if a woman has a blemish, she'll spend $500 to cover that one blemish right here. Doggone, I'm telling you what I know. I got daughters. That one blemish right there, and she's going to spend her next paycheck maybe to get laser surgery to get it taken away, right? But that guy, hey, listen, that guy, he's not going to cover his blemishes up, but he's going to do stuff to maybe get some new clothes, some shoes, his cars. Yeah. That's how. Now our pride is different. I don't know what's going on with this computer over here. I can't connect to my YouTube stuff over here, so who knows? If it messes up, y'all let me know in the chat because I can't see it over there. But we go out of our way to show we're not that bad. I know a lot of men who lift weights just to show how tough and strong they are. They do things to show how that we talk. Listen, men, we talk a tough game. We talk a tough game. Say something crazy on the internet, and we gonna clap back as strong as we can, knowing we can't fight. We ain't want to fight in 25 years, but we gonna act like we can fight. You can't lift nothing. You can't beat up nothing, but we gonna talk like we can. We gonna talk like we can. No one is intimidated, and no one respects us, and so it bothers us, and so the machismo comes out as best it can. We've got some insecurities. And Paul wants you to get past insecurities. Lift up your hands right now. Lift your hands up. Women, sometimes women, ladies, let me excuse me. Let me pull in a little closer. Ladies, sometimes it's not a problem for you to talk about your past. Sometimes it's a problem for you to let go of your past. You keep talking about it as though it's a badge of honor to stay in the past. Can I tell you men and you women something? Just let go. Release it. Give whatever it is, the past part to God, the jacked up parts about your life. Exercise it. Let it go. God knows you stink. Your neighbor knows you stink. Have you ever, not to say that you don't always wash up, but you just had a day where you weren't smelling your bestest, and someone else noticed it before you did? Has anyone ever smelled you before you smelled yourself? Kind of embarrassing, right? You won't even admit it, but yeah, there's men and women. Let's be honest. It ain't just men that stink sometimes. Sometimes you women, yeah, it's just we're human beings. We move and we sweat, and we accumulate dirt as we go, and funk just builds up. And so you could tell somebody else, but I know there's been a time or two that you stunk. And the reason why you say it never happened because you didn't catch it. Somebody else did. Somebody else didn't tell you. You might want to get some better friends. There are times where or there's something on your clothes or something on you, and you don't notice it. You don't know how bad you are. You don't know what's wrong with you. God does. Everyone else does. You're the only one acting like there's nothing wrong with you, especially some of you men. Again, going back to the men's, why I'm convinced that there will be more women in heaven. And I'm going to show some scriptural examples in just a second, but breath. I used to think that women didn't have bad breath. Some of you fellas used to think that women didn't have bad breath, and then you met a few. Like, wow, what is going on in her house? What did she eat last week, last night, an hour ago? What is happening here? Right? But you've got a past. All of us have a past, and it's the foolish people who act as though, yeah, I'm past it. I'm past it. I have a past. I just don't want anyone to know about it. Is that you? I don't want anyone to know about my past, even though it's evident. He knows you've got a past, and you know what he's asking you to do? Wait a second. Doggone it, I'm pushing stuff that I shouldn't push. You can, ladies and gentlemen, because of who he is and what he's come to do. Did you know? I don't know if you know this, but did you know that you can actually acknowledge it? You can acknowledge your past, let it go. Men, lift up holy hands. You lift up holy hands as you are acknowledging the fact that you do sin or you're messed up. Maybe it's not a sin, it's just a shortcoming. There are weights and sins that easily overcome us. There are things that you can do, things that can happen, that's happened in your life, and it's shameful. Things that you didn't do, but someone did it to you. And it's a thing that someone did to you. For some people, it'd be one thing if I did it. It's another thing if someone else did it to me and it's shameful. Someone violated me in a certain way. Someone treated me a certain way. And I just have not been able to get past it. This is where you just let go. All of us have a broken past. Some of our pasts are more broken than others. You are able to move past it. You don't have to pretend like you are something special, like you are something great. The person that thinks he's something great, God will not regard that person anyway. Think about Luke 18, verse 10. 2 men went up into the temple to pray, one Pharisee and the other tax collector. The Pharisee stood and was praying this to who? To himself. God, I thank you that I am not like the other people, swindlers, unjust, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. Doggone it, I fast twice a week. I pay tithes of all that I get. But the tax collector standing, notice the difference, standing was not even willing. He was unwilling to lift up his eyes to heaven. He was so down, but was beating his breast saying, God, be merciful to me, the sinner. I'm the sinner. You ever wonder why Paul calls himself the chief sinner? I don't know that Paul, I don't know. Maybe Paul was being honest, because we don't know what Paul's sins are. We know Paul struggled with, to some degree, pride, right? He was boastful. And so he says he kind of switches it out. Rather than boasting about me, I'll boast about the Lord. But he says that he struggles with sin. So, but he didn't tell us what. But the fact that he acknowledges me, I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner. And if there's no other sinner, or there are more sinners, I'm the chief. I'm the one that doesn't deserve your love at all, Lord. Do I have any witnesses? I don't deserve your love at all whatsoever. So what's happened to me, Lord? I know it was foul. It was, but I'm telling you this, you have the ability, you have the permission to move past it, to move forward, to move on. Why? Because it's over. It's in the past. The mere fact that you can talk about what you went through tells you that it's what you went through. It's in the past. I don't care what the shame was, what was done to you, or what you did. Maybe it wasn't that you were violated, but you violated someone else and it bothers you. You don't even want to think about it. There was a time where I didn't even really want to mention my past because, that's just, no, I'm not proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it either. As bad as it was and what I went through, I wouldn't change what it's taught me and what it's brought me. The lessons that I learned, the growth that I got, that can't be brought anywhere else. You can spend your life trying to hide from whatever it is, as though you have to be ashamed of it. You don't have to be ashamed of it. Because if you're ashamed of what you're delivered from, won't you also be ashamed of who and what delivered you? The gospel, through Christ, he delivered you. Why would you be ashamed of him doing that? I used to always wonder why is Rahab always forever Rahab the harlot? Matthew's the tax collector. Why? It's what God delivered them from. Well, what's so bad about being a tax collector? Well, because he turned on his own people. He betrayed his own people for the sake of his own gain. Matthew the tax collector, but he guess what Matthew is? Matthew's an apostle. Rahab the harlot. The harlot. What is it? Okay, is it? Hold on. Is it 304 or 403? Whatever it is, we call it. Y'all, is it? I keep getting it wrong. 304s or 403s. That's what Rahab was. That's what Rahab was, and she was delivered from that. And she was not an apostle, but the one who is to save comes through her. 304. Okay, yeah, 304. Wait a second. Where's my phone at? Hold on. Let me pull up the thing so I can see why. I'll get this one day. Oh, 4. Yeah, see my yeah. It's supposed to be upside down, right? Yeah, my 304. I think it's my 4. Yeah, my 4 is not right. My 4 is typed better than that, so that's why I get it messed up. 304 upside down. Okay, I get it. Okay. But what you've gone through is the benefit of, it's not because of you, it's because of God. Lift up holy hands everywhere. Males and you ladies. You think that the best thing is to act like it never happened, right? You think the best thing is to act like I don't suffer, I don't struggle. No, as a matter of fact, I'm strong. Paul says, so therefore let him who thinks he stands take heed that he does not fall, lest he fall. Everybody that's fallen. Everyone that's fallen thought they wouldn't fall prior. Everyone that has been overcome with a sin. Again, I tell you, everyone that's gone to prison committed a crime that at some point in the past thought that they would never commit that exact same crime. Those who sold drugs, there was time that they would have told you, I'll never sell drugs. Those that with child porn, I'll never watch that stuff. Those that stole, I'll never steal. Those that kill, I will never kill. There are a lot of folks, you make up your mind, I'm not going to do it. But again, take heed. Those of you who think you stand, take heed lest you fall. You'll fall. The foolish people are the ones that think they're strong. The foolish people are the ones that think that I got it all figured out. No. And because they spend so much time trying to build up their persona and to get folks to think highly of them, that when they did fall, they were too ashamed to mention that they did fall. No, you're not the only ones that fall. Just says, I'll never watch that. I'm not saying you will. I'm saying that a lot of other people, those very same people, had the same thing. It's not, and no, it's not a whole. I can promise you this. You haven't been there yet, and I believe you never will. But it's not a whole other crime. No, it's not. No. It's what the Bible categorizes as pleasing yourself, doing any and everything that you can to fix yourself. It's self-aggrandizing. It makes you feel better. For some folks, it might be that kind of porn. It might be regular porn. By the way, we don't have porn involving children if we don't have porn involving women. And then you've got porn involving women that you might call barely legal or 18. There is it's a slow roll to get there, and then you find yourself in a place I never would have thought I'd be there. So you can't watch the stuff and not see how they promote it towards younger looking women. When we were growing up, they had girls dressing up as, and women dressing up as Catholic schoolgirls with the little short shirt, the little Catholic skirts or whatever you call those things. You say it's no comparison, but not in heaven. In heaven it is. I understand how disgusting it is. I understand that. I do understand that. By the way, heaven is also saying all the other things that we've engaged in is just as disgusting. And so I can promise you this. While we think we are in a certain place, yeah, the enemy can slow roll you and slow walk you into the place that you never thought you would be. And I can promise you, I know people who, man, I never would have gone there. I know of a guy who was introduced to it. I mean, I don't know his whole. I wasn't there, but was introduced to it his first time that he came to prison. Yeah, he was involved in some other things, and his first time when he came to prison, he saw some images, and they weren't old. I mean, they weren't really young. You're gonna tell me that a 17-year-old girl can't be attractive to a man? Is that what we're saying? I'm not making a defense for him, but I'm trying to get you to understand something. You're not as secure. I promise you that. Ladies, if you don't get anything else from this, ladies and gentlemen, you're not as secure as you think. You're going to tell me that a 17-year-old? Oh, you're right. Hurting a child requires a whole lot of punishment from the Lord. Now, but by the way, you can be redeemed from that. But this is for the men or women. Heck, you gonna tell me a 17-year-old? Oh, I'm going somewhere. Look, he said not 17, but 7 is different. Okay, so what about 16? I mean, you already know where I'm going with this. What about 16? What about 16? You gonna tell me that this 15-year-old girl can't be attractive to some men? Okay. So now we're down to 14, age 14. Are you gonna tell me that the 14-year-old and the 17-year-old won't look that different? You know, is that what you're gonna tell me? Okay. All right. You all have seen some of those young girls who actually did look older than what they are. Once you get so messed up, because I've seen you can get so sexually messed up, you thinking you only want these types of women. The next thing you know, if I'll accept this, I'll accept that. And if I'll accept this, I'll accept that. If you'll do this, you'll do that. If you'll do any kind of sin, save it for someone else. If you can do this sin, you can do that sin. Tell it to the devil, tell it to your mama, don't tell it to me, and don't tell it to God, because I know you better than you know yourself, if that's what you're going to say. I'm not saying that you are going to do it, and the likelihood is that you won't do it. But I can promise you, you guys are closer to the worst of the worst sins than you could ever imagine, than you can think. You think you ain't that far away. It is. Old men and young women and young girls, what did they bring David when he was sick? What did they bring David? How old was that girl? Oh, you going to tell me she was in her 30s? The one that they brought to David? Now, culturally, it was different. Okay, well, fine. Culturally, it was different. My point is, the point that I'm trying to get you guys to see, knuckleheads, is take heed lest you fall. Don't think you're that strong. Stay away. Stay prayed up. Stay close to God. I can promise you. And guess what? It might not even be children. It might be just some drugs. Might be some drugs. How hard is it? Let me ask you a question. Are you all susceptible to being on drugs? Say no so I can tell you you're lying. Say no so I can tell you that you fooled yourself. Is anyone susceptible from being addicted to some sort of substance? We all are. Oh, okay. Now we're getting back to what I said. If you're susceptible to being on some sort of substance, and that substance gets in you, man, listen, I know people in my life personally and that I've met who on those substances were the gateway to get them towards these other things, doing things sexually perverse. Oh, you think I'm lying now? Yeah, a lot of the guys who are in prison for those same things that we say we'll never do had another addiction that took them down there. You all think that Satan just started doing this stuff. You all think that Satan just started what he's doing just last week or when you came around. No, he's been doing this with bigger and better folks than you. Oh, yeah, you'd be surprised how many sex offenders in prison also had a previous drug problem. Yeah, because when you get involved in sin, this sin, it's easy to go to the next sin, to the next sin, to the next sin, to the next sin, to the next sin. Stop doing what the Pharisee did. I thank God I'm not like that sinner, like that. Let me go back to it. I don't. Maybe y'all don't realize that it's not just for him. It's for us. He says, I thank God I am not like the other people, the swindlers, the unjust, the adulterers. These people right here. The moiko, the moikoi, that can fit you, or even like this tax. I'm so much better than that. I'll never do that. I might drink a little bit of alcohol every now and then. I don't get drunk. I don't get drunk. Drink a little wine here and there. Drink a little wine, Now, okay, my nerves are I'm frustrated. I'm drinking a little bit more. I got drunk, but I didn't go out driving. I got drunk. I stayed home. Got drunk. Now I'm drinking a little bit more, but at least I stay home. I'm drinking a little bit, and I know cigarettes aren't a sin. They're not illegal. So I smoke something else. I smoke some weed. I smoked something else. We've seen Christians talk about smoking weed. And now my weed was laced with something. Either I knew about it or I didn't know about it. Either way, okay, fine. It is without question a gateway drug that leads to other things. And so now I smoked this. I've ingested this substance, and my mind. I don't have brain cells to just throw around. I can't be free with them. And now I'm burning some away. And now I'm involved. I took something else. Hey, what's this K2 we talking about? What's this other? So now I'm involved. I'm taking something else. I'm ingesting some other substance. This other substance is now helping to control my thoughts, moving my moods, moving my act, what I want. Yeah, actual Christians. Remember, they're making these warnings to actual Christians. Christians can fall. The reason why some of us suck as Christians is because we don't think that applies to us. Can't happen to me. Yes, it can. Now you're drinking, now you're smoking something, now you do anything for it. You will do something for that next hit. All that same umbrella of gratifying yourself, pleasing yourself. Why in the world would she sell her body or do this, or he sell his body to do this for those drugs? It's got them. Y'all haven't seen that or heard stories? And now he's got this addiction and another addiction. Mm-hmm. And by the way, it may even go to reveal that you're not saved. How many people thought they were saved and aren't? Performance enhancing drugs. Performance enhancing drugs lead to other addictions too. I've seen that as well. I've seen that. Stay off the weed. Stay off the weed. Stay clear minded. Me, I got two things. I got water, and I got Joey. And I still got a little bit of coffee in here. Whether it's freshly brewed or day old coffee, that's my vice. Now I haven't gotten to the main point yet, so you all, because I've got to deal with folks that think that they can stand strong. Now, listen. And I get what you're saying. I would never, ever, I could never be tempted by another man. That would do, listen, whoever you think are the best looking males on the planet wouldn't do a thing for me, wouldn't move me in any direction whatsoever. But so Satan doesn't take you through the door that you're thinking about. Satan can take you over here and 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 over here. And next thing you know, you're right there in front of the door that you never thought that you'd be standing before. I'm trying to get you guys to get. This is why Paul says I have to recognize that I'm weak. Because when I'm weak, what does that make me? If I recognize I'm weak, that makes me strong. That's why I'm convinced. That's why I'm convinced. There's going to be more women in heaven than men. I am convinced of that. Men, we don't come to Christ that humble. At least oftentimes we don't come as humble as we should. Yeah, God, I know I got some problems. I'm gonna let you fix these few problems I got. I'm gonna go ahead and let you handle some of these things I got. You know, stuff that I can't handle. I'm gonna let you handle it. Okay. We do that a lot as men. As men, we do that a lot. We are the ones that think that we can. Amen, Jeff. Pride comes before the fall. We are the ones who, because again, go look in the Bible. The problem in the Bible wasn't as much the women. I tell you what. Name 5 disobedient women in the Bible. Let's put you all on the screen. Name 5 disobedient women. Now you're going to start off with Jezebel. Okay, now you got Jezebel. Now you got. Yeah. Name 5 disobedient women. Now, if I tell you start naming 5 disobedient men, you can just rattle them out. Bam, 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 bam. Heck, Sapphira, she just followed Ananias, her husband. Name 5 disobedient women. We got Jezebel, and then after that, Ruth wasn't disobedient. We can't call her Eve, but Eve was deceived. Adam ran for so she was just deceived. We can't even say her. Delilah, all right. My point is, we got 3 names so far. Name 5 men. Name 5 men. All you got to do is just pick any of the 5 kings or 5 kings. Name 15 disobedient men. You can do it. You can find 15 disobedient men easily. Easily. Vashti was not disobedient. Vashti was behaving righteously, which is why after her husband came to his senses, he regretted what he did. Name 15, name 20 disobedient men. You don't even have to be a Bible student. I can name a bunch of them. Now you could actually say, if you want to be biblically correct, every woman that you know in the Bible was disobedient at some point, and every man. But the problem with the church in the New Testament wasn't that the women were the problem. It was the men. It was the men. Men are hard-headed. Men are ridiculous. Quit saying Vashti, y'all. Vashti was honorable in what she did. She refused what her husband wanted her to do, and then he came back and regretted what he asked her to do. Vashti was not a problem. Vashti was not the issue. Yeah, Job's rifle was horrible. Why don't you curse God and die? Job should have said, why don't you die? I tell you what, Miss Job, go kill yourself. You probably the reason why you probably told Satan. Look at Garrett. Garrett went and put Jezebel, Eve, Delilah, Sarah. I notice you all ain't throwing these men up there. I notice you guys aren't throwing these men up there. See what men do? Listen, you can find 10 times more disobedient men, or probably 20 times more disobedient men in the Bible than you can women. It's just something with us. It's just something with us. Right? It's just something with us. Hard-headed, stiff-necked. We are. But he decided to use us. He decides to use us. Women seem to have a certain, they're easier, not always, it's easier for a woman to submit. Now, her problem is that she holds on too much of her failures. But let me give you a story. Let me give you a story. This particular passage I really like. There's this woman. There's this woman who came to Jesus. And a Canaanite woman from that region came and began and said, "Have mercy on me." We're going to look at two sets of passages. "Have mercy on me. My daughter is cruelly demon-possessed." Jesus ignored her. Well, he didn't ignore her. He didn't answer. He didn't answer a word. And the disciples sent her away. Well, Jesus is trying to show something, isn't he? Jesus is trying to prove a point. She was more, at this point in time, she's exhibiting more faith than his disciples are. But he answered and said, "I was sent, but I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." And look what she says. She came and began to bow down before him, humbling herself even more. Y'all getting this? No, I know you're not getting it. I know you're not getting it just yet. You will by the time we're through. You'll get this. Maybe you'll shout. Maybe listen. We interrupt this regularly scheduled program for a message from Grady, not to Fred, but to you.
You see, because you're not gonna like anything I say.
Well, that's okay. Just tell me.
Well, first of all, I mean, Fred, you're rotten. Fred, I mean, just deep down, low down, rotten to the core. Now, Fred, take it from a friend who knows.
I'm trying to tell you, you are rotten. You who think you stand. And she says, "Lord, help me." Bow down. "Lord, help me." Now, where's my Greek student at? Lakeisha's like, okay, Corey, quit asking me Greek questions every time. But where's my Greek student at, Lakeisha? Look what he says. He says, "Curie." Now he says, "Help me," but he says, "Curie." Do you know, how is this written? This is what's called the vocative. This is imploring. You can, when you see it's in the vocative, it's like this emotion attached to it. She bowed down, "Lord, help me." Now think about when it's your child. That will do it. That will do it. And he answered and said, "It is not good to take children's bread and throw it to the dogs." But she said, "Yes, Lord, but even the dogs feed the crumbs which fall from the master's table." Some of you ladies, put your hand on your hip. Who you calling a dog? You got to move your neck. Who you calling a dog? I don't need you, Jesus. I get it done myself. Some of you guys, would you call my daughter? Would you call me? You call me and my daughter? Yeah, some of you all wanted to handle that way. Not her. Not her. She says, "Yes, Lord, but even the dogs speak. Call me what you want. Lord, please help me." Look what Jesus says. Then Jesus said to her, "O woman, your faith is great. It shall be done as you wish." Your faith is great. Juxtapose that to what Jesus was saying recently about his disciples. It's as though you have no faith. I'm in the boat with you. You all crying about some rain and some wind. But this woman, humbling herself, bowing herself. That's this woman. That's this woman. Now, there are men also, obviously, that are also humble as well. I want to point out to another particular, I was going to go, there's a lot really all throughout Luke 7, but I want to go to a specific woman. Some of you all know this. There's a particular Pharisee who is, you think I was raised by a woman? I was raised by a woman. I'm not saying, what do you mean you think, how's this divisive? What makes what I'm saying divisive? You're not listening. You're not listening. And I get it. A lot of you guys aren't listening because I'm bowling down your alley. You know why? This is going to be, ultimately, to accept what I'm saying, you've got to realize something.
You see, because you're not going to like anything I say.
Well, that's okay. Just tell me.
Well, first of all, I mean, Fred, you're rotten. Fred, I mean, just deep down, low down, rotten to the core. Now, Fred, take it from a friend who knows.
I want you to know, listen, if you don't hear anything else for the rest of this week, I want you to hear two things. No, three things. Three things. One, you suck. As a Christian or not as a Christian. You just suck. It's what you are. You are a glob of suck with legs and hands and feet and arms and eyeballs and eyelids and hair. That's what you are. Big old proud glob of suck. You suck as a human and as a Christian. You're not that good of a Christian. There are no such thing as great Christians. There just aren't. You think you're a great Christian? You think you're an awesome? Do you think you're an awesome Christian? You think you're a wonderful Christian? You think I've got this figured out. I know what's happening. I got this thing down to it. No. By the way, it makes me wonder if you are a Christian, because the only way that you can be a Christian is to realize how bad you are. Now, I'm sorry to tell you, that's why you keep disappointing people, because you sold them a bill of goods to think that you got it straight, and you don't. You wanted people to think that you're this awesome Christian. And then in 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day or whatever, they realize, doggone it, you like. Dre Day, I said I'm convinced. I could be wrong. I said I'm convinced. Don't take it literally. I have no idea who all is going to be in heaven. I don't know. Okay? All right. I do still think that it's probably more women, though. Women are far more submissive than men. Again, let's go back to what Paul brought up. Paul said this. Why? I want men. And granted, does Paul want women to lift up holy hands? Sure. But that's not what he says here. He says, I want males. The Greek word, the word that's used here is andros. Andros doesn't refer to women or mankind. Anthropos refers to men and mankind. All but andros refers to just males, boys, XY chromosomes. I want males. I want males lifting up. Why? Because that's a form of humbling yourself. It's harder. Come on, let's keep it. What do they say? Let's keep it a stack. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Keeping it real. When this isn't when keeping it real goes wrong. This is when keeping it real goes right. Keeping it real goes right. Men, it's hard for us to be submissive. It's hard for us to humble ourselves. That's why so many men make it to prison before women. It's the one thing that helps to humble men. Corey, I love you so much, but on this I'm wrong. What am I wrong about? What am I wrong about? Name the one thing I was wrong about. Now, I said I think that it'll be more women in heaven. I could be wrong. That's not the issue. If that's what you're listen, doggone it. If that's what you guys are focusing on, you're a knucklehead. I love you. That is not the point. I use what I think, and I'm using actual other facts and things to show that males, now I didn't say women don't have a problem too. Women do. I started off, maybe you came late, but women, they'll have a blemish and freak out. Women can be vain too. Their pride is in other things also, but there is a reason why more men make it to prison than women. Women go to prison too, but there's a reason why there are more men in prison than women. We do things that are more testosterone driven. By the way, women have testosterone. Women are not humble or submissive nowadays more than men. Are you telling me that men and women are on the same level of humility? Is that what you're going to tell me? You couldn't sell that to anybody. You couldn't sell to anybody. No. Now, some of you guys have been burned by women and hurt by women and want to blame it on women. Doggone it. Where's Joey? And let me tell you why some of you guys have a problem with women. I might say this, and this might be the end of the broadcast because I wasn't planning on stepping on all these toes today. But let me say this because this is going to really hurt some toes. This is going to cut deep. Ouch. This, what I'm getting ready to say to some of you men, is going to cut deep. The reason why some of you men have problems with some of these women is because some of you men are entirely too weak to begin with. That's where I should end it at. I should end right there. Some men, some of you men are encountering strong or stronger women because you're not as strong as you ought to be. Yeah. I should end right there, move on, let everyone just heal a little bit because doggone it, that is kicking some folks in the wrong spot. You kicking the man right in the midsection, he's bowed over because it's almost emasculating. It can be freeing if you let it. It's not feminism, it is effeminatism in men. Yeah, listen, I don't know where this came from. Doggone, we keep having this conversation. I didn't mean to go there, but doggone it. We did not grow up complaining about these women, how these women, you know what? If you found a woman that you felt like she was too much of a feminist or too strong for you or what have you, you just moved on. Now you go to the corner and cry. Yeah, we don't have. What do you mean these women are this? How many women you dating? If you keep coming in contact with the same people, it ain't them, it's you. Knucklehead. Yeah, some of you guys, and listen, I'm not saying on you. I promise you, I'm not talking about you. I don't know your situation, what have you. But I'm not saying just unmarried men. Listen, there are weak men that are married too. I'm trying to help some folks out. I'm trying to help you out. Again, you guys don't like to be open and honest. That's why you can never get past what the issue is. That's why I get it now, Paul. Dr. Paul, I get it. That's why Paul is saying, I want men. Humble yourselves. The problem ain't them. The problem ain't her. The problem ain't him. The problem has never been them. It's been you. And this goes to the women as well. You either hold on to your past or you think you're too strong. It's these two extremes that keep you from being the better Christian. Because you don't want to see yourself for who you are. You don't want to see yourself for who you are, and you don't want anyone else to see you for who you are. No. And I'm not telling you that you ought to be ashamed of what's happened to you. I'm saying that you can be delivered from that. You have been delivered from that. But you can't get past if you act like it never existed. There is no testimony if you don't let folks know how bad you were. You are in prime position to fall one more time. That's why he talks about those that are meek in spirit. That's why he speaks about you need to be meek in spirit, lowly, humble. Can I give you an example of this particular woman? This is one of my favorite stories. One of my really, really favorite stories. Now, Jesus was invited to a Pharisee's house, a guy by the name of Simon. And this Pharisee, Simon thought that he was doing himself a favor because, Pharisees are also self-seeking. The problem that the Pharisees had with Jesus wasn't so much doctrinal. No, Pharisees could care less about doctrine. That's another misnomer that people think that Pharisees knew the book, knew the word of God better than anyone else. Things like no. Pharisees were in it for themselves. Now, the biggest reason they had with Jesus is that he was making more disciples from them and causing folks to leave them and go to him. And so one Pharisee thought that he could, let me, if you can't beat him, join him. Let me invite Jesus to my house. And Jesus has something happen to him. And he asked him a question. He said, Simon, I have something to ask you. And he replied, say it, teacher. A moneylender had two debtors, one owed 500 denarii and the other 50. Both were unable to repay, and he graciously forgave them both. Which of them will love him the most? Simon says, I suppose the one who forgave him more. He said, you have judged correctly. Turning aside, do you see this woman? Huh. Can I ask you guys a question? We can name 4 or 5 women in the Bible that we know are just egregious, yeah, right? How many women can we find in the Bible that have gone far beyond men in humbling themselves? How many women are on the level of worship to the point of degrading themselves like this woman here in Luke 7? Do we know how many men can you name that did what she did? Can you name a lot of men that were like that? Not one of the disciples did that. Not one. Did Peter do that? No. Did John do that? No. Did James do that? No. Jesus said, I'm getting ready to die. They're talking about, well, who's going to be the greatest? No. When it got thick and they looking to kill somebody, possibly, the men took off. The women stayed there. I'm trying to get you guys. Why did Paul say, I need you men to humble yourselves? Just to humble yourselves. But y'all gonna fight me. You're gonna fight me. So I keep telling folks, I was that way, and I would defend man, listen. Do you know how you humble most men? Do you know how men, most men, not all, but do you know how most men become humble? Jesus lover, it's like you come here sometimes and forget to listen. You come here sometimes and forget to listen. You might be in this category. Y'all want to know why? You want to know how most men become humble? What makes most men humble? Not all. Humiliation. His cousin. The cousin of humility is humiliation. A man gets humiliated enough, it does it. A man gets humiliated enough when someone is humbling him, it does it. You get beat around, slapped around a little bit, it does it. Man, that pain, that humiliation is, oh God. Yeah, God, I'll never forget the first time that I felt this humiliation. I was like, God, am I through? No, you ain't through. But God, no, you ain't through. It's going to take some more. I've got to strip away some more. I can't take it all at once, because if I do it all at once, you might die. You might kill yourself. I got to take it slowly. I got to slow drag you on this thing. Humiliation does this. You're going to get in trouble. I said humiliation. He says women. Okay. What? Hold on. Wait a second. Let me just play this. I thought this was really funny. If I can find this. I thought this was so hilarious and probably true. Where's this at? If I still, doggone it's gone. Doggone it is gone. Man, I wish I could find this thing. What this old man said about his wife. I can't find it. It was hilarious. How has he survived 50 years of marriage? And he says on one day, you get in an argument with your wife, and one day she's right. On the third day, she's right. And the next time, you're wrong. That's how you survive marriage. But humiliation does it. That's why. Because the problem with waiting to be humiliated is sometimes it might end up in some sort of pain that you don't recover from. Turning toward the woman, he said, Simon, do you see this woman? I entered your house. You gave me no water for my feet, but she has wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. No man did that. You gave me no kiss. Now, if in this culture at this time, men would kiss each other. But she, since the time I came in, has not ceased to kiss my feet. And you did not anoint my head with oil, but she has anointed my feet with perfume. For this reason, wait a minute, that expensive perfume, we could have sold that, says one man. For this reason I say to you, her sins, here is the point, ladies and gentlemen, her sins, which are many, have been forgiven. For she loved much, but he who is forgiven little loves little. Then he said to her, your sins have been forgiven. She knows how many sins she has. No one's. Okay, hold on. Let me just do this. I hate to do this because truly you don't know what you're talking about. And so I'm going to put you in timeout, sir. I love you to death. You are not banned. Brother, you are not banned. But Jesus Lover 122, you're in timeout. I'm not elevating women above men. You're kind of part of the problem today. You are. You kind of are part of the problem today because you're not listening. And you do that often. I love you to death, brother. I believe you're saved. If you was a Pentecostal, you'd be saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost with a mighty burning fire and the mind and will to run on. But you're not listening. And I'm trying to help you out. This woman knew she had a bunch of sins. A bunch. She didn't try to fight it. She didn't try to justify it. She didn't say, but them, but that, but this, my past, someone did it. No. Grateful about her situation and who the Lord is. Her adoration for him. Men don't. It's hard to do that. And by the way, this is but a point of what I'm trying to get you to understand. If you could just do that as a man or a woman, to have this attitude to where I'm grateful and thankful for you, for it, everything. In everything. This is what it means to be meek in spirit. Humble. Not humble just in mouth, but actually humble. Actually humble. Meaning, I don't even deserve to look at you, Lord. I don't deserve, if I can just get but a moment of your attention so I can spend eternity with you, I'm good. I want males everywhere to lift up holy hands. And if there's a woman that wants to be like a man, same thing. I want you to realize that you ain't getting in on your own. Your Christianity will stop sucking as less if you begin to realize that you've got to lean on somebody else. Your trip to heaven is not you pulling anyone. You are hitching your wagon to him. It's him that's taking you. It's him that's carrying you. Open your arms. Let him hold you more. You're not carrying Jesus. He's carrying you. You're not driving this car. He is. You don't give directions. He's telling you, sit down in the back, shut up. If you're like a little kid, get your little Game Boy out and play that, but enjoy the trip. I've got this taken care of. You suck as a Christian because you won't take your place as a Christian. You suck because you think you got this figured out. You suck because you think you got something to offer. You don't. We got thousands of years of history of men trying to show what they can do only to show they can fail, which God said they were going to do in the first place. How about you do this one thing? Take your top lip and your bottom lip and button them and shut up. Except when it's time to give God glory. Give him praise. Lord, I thank you. I'm no good. The gospel according to Grady.
See, because you're not going to like anything I say.
Well, that's okay. Just tell me.
Well, first of all, Fred, you're rotten. Fred, I mean, just deep down, low down, rotten to the core. Now, Fred, take it from a friend who knows.
When I say that we are $5 worth of dirt, it's not just like a cute little cliche. No, you that's what you are. Who has been redeemed. By the way, the only way to be saved is to have a modicum of that, of humility. That's what we call repentance. And then after that, being saved, you're driving with the brake on if you think that you have left that position. If you think that now that I got saved, I'm worth something. No, that's now you have you ever put the emergency brake on, forgot it was on and started driving? That's what you guys are doing. I profess to know nothing except Christ and him crucified. Paul says, not that I've made it. Now I'm pushing forward. And as long as I'm on this earth, I ain't going to make it. But I'll keep pushing. And if that means people see me struggling on my way to heaven, amen. That means some other struggling folks can keep going. Queenie said, I'm about $6, $7. Inflation's going to go down a little bit, and then you're going to be back down to $2.50 with the rest of us. How do we talk to Muslims? By giving them this gospel. Because you know what a Muslim, sister in Christ, do you know what a Muslim can do? Do you know what I'm gonna end on this too, Cephas. But do you know what a Muslim can do? Do you know what a Muslim can they can identify with being no good? They can identify with being rotten, just like the Buddhists can, just like the Hindu, just like the atheists. That's why so many Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, atheists, other folks, that's why they come to God. Because the gospel, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think y'all know this, but I think you probably do. Maybe you don't, maybe you do, but let's just tell you. The gospel is that you're no good and you owe a lot that you can't pay, but someone who's very good, who has a lot, pays what you couldn't pay. He paid it, and all you got to do is place your faith in that and thank him for it. Amen. Hallelujah. I'm saved. That's it. That's the gospel. Take what I just said, rewind it back, play it again, and then remember that. Tell someone else. The Muslim can understand, listen, you have failed time and time again. Ask him, does he know? He knows. He knows. The Muslim knows that he has messed up. He knows that he's not a good Muslim. He knows that he messes up even in Islam. And he's not even sure. He's not even sure he can go to heaven. With all that he does, the praying 5 times a day on his magic carpet and no one's on the other end, all that he does, he still has no assurance that he's going to be saved. But us, we can be sure. We can know. And the Muslim knows he has to. He has to agree with what the people of the book tells him, according to Surah 1094. They say the Bible is corrupted, but again, when Surah 1094 was written and was given, that same Bible is the Bible we have now. So let's go find him a Bible from that era, and it's going to say the exact same thing. Now, I wouldn't sit and argue with the Muslim who's dead set on not turning. Fine. He not only is a lousy human being, he's a lousy Muslim. And so we have to leave him where he is. Some plant, some water, but God gives the increase. And maybe somebody will come along and keep hammering. Maybe things are going to happen in his life to where he is going to change. But back to us. The reason why we suck as Christians is because we make Christianity about us, about our strengths, about our failures, about anything. It can be our weaknesses. It can be our accomplishments. It can be our failures. We make it too much about us. That's why you keep falling. That's why you keep hitting. That's why you keep hitting rock bottom, because you're relying on the wrong thing. I'm all right. Doggone it. I got to get these 2 boys. I got to get both of these guys. I'm trying to help you, Mr. Cephas. I'm trying to get you where you need to get to. Corey, I don't know if Corey understands there's a war on men. Do you think this war on men just started? let me just help you out, brother. See, Fish, I'm not trying to son you, as they say, but I am a decent ways older than you, and there's some other men my age and men who are older who can tell you this little war on men didn't just start. Didn't y'all think it just started when you showed up? No, it didn't. And you do realize that there's been a war on men before your mom and daddy showed up and your grandparents showed up too. There's always been this war on men. We've got Pharaoh who tried to kill all the boys. We've got Herod who tried to kill all the boys. Shining River says, Cephas Rock, here we go. When you listen, when you get some old heads, when you get some what do they call it, Shining Jordan, when you get the when you get the OGs, when you get school, when you get Unc to tell you, just listen. I'm trying. I promise you. I promise you. I'm not making this stuff up. Brother, when I tell you, I was saying the same stuff to my daddy, and my daddy looked at me. Now he didn't say it as gracefully as he could have, and he gave me some names. He gave me some names, and basically embarrassed me. Get your little punk. my dad. Listen, you don't want to hear how my daddy would tell you, or my uncles, or no. Listen, I understand that there's some women out there who are in all sorts of ways. What does that have to do with you? If this woman or that woman is not the right woman for you, what does that have to do with you? You think are you going to tell me, you two fellas, are you going to tell me all the women are like that? Is that what you're going to tell me? I hope not. You don't know enough women to know that all of them, or even most of them, because most of them are not. Most of them are not. Now, I'll tell you what a strong woman needs or wants. A stronger man. And if that ain't you, then fine. Maybe she's just thrown off in the head. Maybe she's just jacked up. There's a bunch of them out there. There's a bunch of men like that out there. Let those men like that, and let those women like that. I'm not calling you a punk. I'm saying what my daddy would have said. My daddy would have called you that. I'm going to tell you that now. My daddy would have called you that. Let those those women like that get with those men. Listen, what's the old saying? There's somebody for everybody. Let those women like that who think they're like that, let them get with those men. If you're around them, then I don't know how you got there. I don't know how you found your way around them kind of women. I don't know what you guys' dating habits are. I don't know what it is that you guys do. And I'm saying this there's a lot. That's why this guy, what's the guy name that died? The guy who had never been married, telling people how to be a high value man. What's the guy's name? I can't think of the guy's name, but he fit a need. He touched a nerve with some of these men, and they thought that, man, we found gold with this guy, Kevin Samuels. That's it, Kevin Samuels. This man, yeah. How many men found love listening to him? While he's dead and before he died, he was wrong. He was wrong. He died hooking up with some woman who was never going to be, who wasn't even wife material himself. But y'all were listening to that kind of stuff. What is that? Is that what they call the red pill stuff? Listen to these. What's the guy from the? Not when he died, he wasn't married. Not when he died, he wasn't married. No, he was not. And he certainly wasn't married to that woman at the time. All right, he came back. I put him in timeout. I guess not long enough. Let me put him in timeout till tomorrow. How about that? There we go. I've never focused on the wrong women. You shouldn't focus on the wrong women. Then you're good. What did You don't have to worry about what's happening with the wrong person. That's just like saying, man, you can't find the right. There are good jobs for you, and there are wrong, bad jobs for you. There are good people for you to be around. There's bad people for you to be around. If you find yourself coming in contact constantly with the wrong kind of people, male or female, then it's not them, it's you. You're on the wrong trail. You got the wrong scent that you're snooping for. Yeah. If I put you in timeout, something wrong with you. I couldn't get this man to pay attention. So I can promise you, if you are a God, this doggone, here comes Dr. Love, the love doctor. Comes the love doctor. If you're godly, God is going to, and you want a woman, God will so arrange it to where you will find this woman, or she will find you, or what happened, and you'll be able to identify her. Now, is she gonna be perfect? No. I want her this height, built this way, with this, with that. Okay, well then that might be your issue. And maybe some of you ladies are too quick, too much in a hurry to get this person. Now you done got me off my main topic. You done got me off my main topic talking to you fellas. So I tell you what, now I've got to come back. I got to come back with the video. I'm talking about why Christians suck, not why single Christian men suck. I'm kidding. You are living proof that Corey. What do you mean? You living proof that Corey's wrong? First of all, how dare you come on this channel and say I'm wrong? What do you mean I'm wrong? Wrong how? I'm just messing with you, Orange. How? What am I wrong about? What am I wrong about? I'm all right. You don't want to listen. You ain't got to listen. What your daddy say? You gonna learn though. You can learn now. You can learn later, but you gonna learn. They are single. I happen to know. Yaves that they are. And then Jay Quint comes back with the low blow. How about them Pacers? Our Pacers are awesome. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up a Smart Christians online Christian singles deal. I'm gonna help you folks out. I'm not gonna do that. I'm definitely not gonna do that. Because I don't think some of you guys want to listen. I don't think some of you guys want to listen. Some of you guys want to just keep doing what you're doing, and it don't work. Blame somebody else. That's what it is. And I know it's the case because you do it as a Christian. You keep doing what you want to do, not want to listen, and it never works, and you blame something to somebody else. All right. Anyway, back to the main point. By the way, I love you, brothers. I love you, brothers. We suck as Christians because being a Christian is about us. If your Christian walk wasn't so much about you, you wouldn't suck at it. Every time you've fallen, it had something to do with you trying to get your way, or not getting your way, or getting a better way. You suck at being a Christian because being a Christian is too much about you. You want more of the Spirit so that you can get blessed. Bless me, Lord. Bless. Not realize I'm already blessed, and if you don't get blessed even more, that should be good enough. I know you got problems, you got pains, you got issues, you got things that happen. I promise you, I get that, and you should cry out and let the Lord know. God, I'm struggling here. I'm struggling there. One, would you fix this? But two, and more importantly, if you never fix it, would you give me enough patience, peace, and joy to overcome you never fixing this? Give me enough insight to know that at least I got you, and that's good enough? Because wouldn't you rather be saved and struggling than fortunate and unsaved? Meaning you got money in the account, you got friends, you got cars, wouldn't you rather have that? Would you rather have all those things and know Jesus? Or would you rather have Jesus and struggle? Now, when you say Jesus and struggle, you might struggle. Maybe God's going to want to find out. I know what it's like, and I know I got more struggles to come. But I tried to help. I tried my best. I know I'm full of mess. I know I'm no good. But if I could just humble myself and be grateful for what he's done, then I'll be okay. I'll be a better Christian. Amen. Amen. Now, I've got to leave, which is why we're not doing Bible study today. Now, quick question. Let me ask you guys this question, and I will end up cutting this off later. But quick question. I've got time Saturday morning. I've got time Saturday morning. I'll probably be available Friday evening, Friday afternoon, but I'm going to always try to leave the Friday afternoons for the Q&As. But I've got time for Saturday morning if you want to do the Bible studies or just move it back till next week. I've been out every day this week after 4, after 5. So would you rather guys have the Bible study Saturday morning, or would you rather have it just move it back to next week? He said not early. Yeah, listen, if it's Saturday, it's going to be early. If it's Saturday, I've got to go out. I've got to get my clothing ready for the wedding. My big day is coming. My big wedding day is coming. Yep. When I make my grand entrance down the aisle and give my daughter away. I told my daughter it's all about me. I am going to be the star of the show when I walk you down the aisle. No, it's about her. So I've got to go and get my clothes. Go to my haberdashery, as Fred Sanford says, go to my haberdashery and get me some haberdash. So, okay, hold on. All right, let's do it like this. I'm sorry. Let's do it like this. I thought next week was leading, so let's just do a poll. Bible stud, if I can spell right, study on Saturday morning or next week. There's the poll, so I can see. So you guys tell me, and we'll let the poll dictate. I'm fine either way. I am fine. Okay, nice. All right. So, wait a minute. Next week took the lead. Now it's coming back down. Now next week is back in the lead. It's getting close again, back in the 50s. All right. We'll wait a little bit longer. There's 52 votes in. TT said next week. Okay. It looks like I'll wait till we get a few more votes in, but it looks like it's going to be next week. Because when I say Saturday morning, I'm talking about like 8. Because I've got to leave. I've got to be gone around lunchtime-ish. So, and I've got to go get my clothes so I can look sharp. Because I still haven't determined if I'm going to give my daughter away. I might just walk into the church when she's getting married, and he says, "Who gives this woman away?" And I might say, "Nobody. She ain't getting married." Could I do that? Now I could. 2,000 years ago, I could have done that. Now, no, I don't know. So. No. The wedding's not this week, Kelly. Or no, who said that? Virginia. The wedding's not this week. I'm just going to get my clothes, get my suit or my tux or whatever. So, is this an arranged marriage? No, it's not an arranged marriage. I told the boy you still my daughter. No, it's not arranged. If I arranged it, it'd be in about 5 or 10 more years. You know how it is with a daddy. If I'm arranging, she will overrule me, and the law will honor her. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And then when he proposed to her, I just knew. I told her the day before. So I something just tells me this boy's getting ready to propose, and I'm telling you no, not right now. And then doggone it, that next day, they don't listen to me. So, okay, so next week. Okay, I appreciate you guys for bearing witness. By the way, I can't tell you what I did today. But me and Joey took a trip. Do right, Corey. I'll try to do right. Me and Joey took a trip. Now, if I'd had my way, I would have arranged a marriage with one of you single fellas in the chats. I'm kidding. But no, she's got a good guy. and I've gotten me a new farm hand. I'm the farmer, and I got the farmer's daughter. That means if you marry the farmer's daughter, then that means you're a new farm hand. So I got work for him and my other son coming up in the next month. We got some work to do around this house, and I'm going to use them. So anyway, but yeah, Joe and I took a trip today. You all will not know about it until, what's the day? 2 weeks. In about roughly 2 weeks. You will like it though. I promise you will like it, and you'll notice where I am. Joey is sitting there front and center. Cause again, Joey is the star of the show. I promise you guys will like it. And it's also going to it's probably going to help lead to some changes with me too. So is Joey going to the wedding? No, because Joey don't know how to act. Joey don't know how to act, and he's still single. And I don't need Joey, I don't need stuff happening, and because Joey will be the reason why bad stuff happens at the wedding. So Joey can't go. Anyway, guys, I love you all so much. Take what I said. Just, you don't have to agree with it right now, but take what I said, give it the scriptures, and ask yourself, could this possibly be true? If you all say one more thing about this flannel shirt, that shirt is not flannel. Why do you all think automatically that a checkered shirt is flannel? What is going on with you people? Here's Shirley. Listen, they're just dating right now, but Joey wanted me to let y'all know, even though he says Shirley's all right, he's still single. Don't be trying to, Shirley's right there. So, anyway, it wasn't a flannel shirt. That one beats. It was not a flannel. Y'all quit that. Lord, you guys, y'all not saved. You people are not saved. God bless you all. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for our Q&A. Bye-bye.